The men's game has entered a fascinating new era. Two young stars, Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz, have been setting the pace on the ADP Tour, dominating finals and collecting titles with remarkable consistency. But if anyone thought the rest of the field would simply step aside, Daniil Medvedev just delivered a strong reminder that the chase is far from over. Despite falling short against Sinner in the final of the BNP Paribas Open, Medvedev walked away from the desert with renewed belief. In a statement that the fight against the sport's new power duo is still very much alive, that Medvedev's honest take on chasing the new kings at 30 years old, Medvedev knows exactly how tough the current landscape of men's tennis has become. Facing Sinner in the Indian Wells final marked another chapter in the growing dominance of the Italian and the Spaniard. Yet the Russian star refused to frame the battle as a personal rivalry. Instead, he offered a grounded and refreshingly honest perspective. Tough to say, Medvedev admitted in his post-match press conference. I lost a lot of matches against them, and I did lose again today against Jannik. I know that I could be a good tennis player, and I'll try my best to be whoever is on the other side of the net. Rather than obsessing over Sinner or Alcaraz specifically, Medvedev emphasized a different goal: raising his own level. Maybe it's Carlos and Jannik. Maybe it's someone else. I will just try to play some good tennis, he said, pointing to the level he displayed earlier this season in Brisbane and Dubai. For Medvedev, the formula is simple. Focus on performance, not names. Proof that the gap isn't unbreakable while Sinner and Alcaraz have dominated headlines. Medvedev's Indian Wells run showed the hierarchy isn't untouchable. That in the semifinals, the Russian stunned Alcaraz, ending the Spaniard's incredible 16-match winning streak to start the season. It was a statement victory, especially considering Medvedev had struggled against Alcaraz in their previous meetings. And he's not the only one capable of pulling off surprises. Medvedev pointed to recent results across the tour as proof that the competition remains wide open. Even Sinner, arguably the most consistent player on tour right now, was beaten earlier this season by rising Czech star Jakub Mensik in Doha. According to Medvedev, moments like that highlight why singling out just one challenger to the top two is unrealistic. I think it's not right to say it's only me or only Novak or only Sasha, he explained, referencing players like Novak Djokovic and Alexander Zverev. There are many players who can challenge them on the right day. Still, Medvedev acknowledged the brutal reality of their dominance. By the end of the season, Sinner and Alcaraz often rack up 60 wins with only a handful of losses. That's why it's not an easy challenge. He admitted that a comeback season gaining momentum even with the loss in the final. Medvedev's 2026 season is shaping up to be one of resurgence. He arrived at Indian Wells already riding strong momentum after winning titles in Brisbane and Dubai. Those victories rebuilt the confidence that once made him one of the tour's most dangerous competitors. His performance in the desert added another milestone: a return to the ADP top 10 for the first time since July. The numbers tell the story. Medvedev has already collected a tour-leading 18 wins this season, proving that his game and belief are back in full force. And Indian Wells nearly became even more historic for him. The Russian was attempting to become the first player since Djokovic at the Nitto ADP Finals to defeat both Alcaraz and Sinner in the same tournament, but he came halfway. Bittersweet feelings after the final. Medvedev didn't hide his emotions after the final. Defeating Alcaraz in the semifinal meant a lot personally, especially after several tough losses to the Spaniard. To beat Carlos yesterday feels like a win of the tournament, especially for me, he said. I lost a lot against him. But the Russian quickly reminded himself, and everyone else, that the job wasn't finished. There is a final to play, he reflected. I had my opportunity, a small opportunity in the first set, a bigger one in the tiebreak in the second. But I was hanging by small margins. That's what made the experience bittersweet. It feels good to do what I did this week. Sinner praises Medvedev's return to form. Even the champion himself had nothing but praise for Medvedev. After their final clash, Sinner acknowledged just how dangerous the Russian has become again. I feel like he's playing great tennis, Sinner said. He was very confident after already winning a couple of titles this year. But Sinner went even further, suggesting that Medvedev's presence is essential to the sport. Tennis needs him, he added. He has a very unique style of playing. Seeing him back at this level is great. Alcaraz echoed similar sentiments after his semifinal defeat. "I have never seen Daniil playing like this," the Spaniard admitted. Those words speak volumes about the level Medvedev reached during the tournament. The next chapter begins in Miami while Sinner celebrated a historic milestone, becoming the first man since 1990 to win back-to-back Masters 1000 titles without dropping a set after his triumph at the Paris Masters. The season is far from over. The tour now shifts to the Miami Open, where the absence of Djokovic could open the door for new storylines. The biggest question heading into Miami is simple. Can Medvedev do it again? If Indian Wells proved anything, it's that the Russian isn't fading into the background of the new generation. Instead, he's quietly rebuilding a campaign that could once again put him right in the middle of the biggest battles on the ADP Tour. And if he keeps playing like this, Sinner and Alcaraz might not be able to run the show alone for long. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.